Greetings on this rainy August afternoon in Weston, Vermont, where we are here at the Vermont Country Store, opened in 1946 by Vrest and Mildred Orton. This has since become the gold standard of general stores. They have 2 locations in Vermont, and, to my mind, they're really an example of what Cracker Barrel kind of modeled itself after, the country store, superstore, if you will, but loads of cheese and snacks, and I have a feeling there's going to be some branded unique merch here too, so let's hop in and take a look. You are watching Peak Merch. Fair bit of history here about Vrest Orton and Mildred Ellen Wilcox Orton as well, that you can read while you're waiting for the ladies' room. There you go, family owned all these years later. Pretty cool. Now, of course, the Vermont Country Store is going to have its own merchandise. So we've got these nice tote bags here. We've got a dedicated cookbook as well. Recipes, history, and lore from the classic American General Store. Christmas ornaments as well of the famous Red Barn entryway, which we'll take a look at. And even some mugs here. These sort of earthenware mugs, sort of a camping staple. These do look actually ceramic. I'm gonna take that back. So maybe not the best thing to take camping, but you could. And we've got them here in red as well. There you go. Some more Vermont Country Store merch has been cited here, including this denim apron with the logo on it. And there's some stuff here at the bottom as well. Looks like some measurement hacks, so you can have a little cheat sheet while you're aproning. Pretty nifty. I also see the classic entryway adorning these Vermont Country Store magnets as well. So, classic piece of merch here. They've had this for years, but yeah, cool to see they still have them. So, we've got some Vermont Country Store Tervises here as well. Little advertisement, kind of classic branding. Good opportunity to take your coffee with you. So, yeah, there you go. Great postcard selection here as well, featuring the iconic truck outside and some old signage, classic view of the store in different seasons. I truly love to see it. Celebrating one's own history with in merch form. And in addition to opening the Vermont Country Store, it looks like the Orton family were pretty prolific authors. They've got a whole book collection here, including Vrest Orton's Personal Observations on the Republic of Vermont, For the Love of Vermont coffee table book, Mildred Orton's Cooking with Whole Grains, and maybe, beyond the cookbook, my personal favorite might be The Forgotten Art of Building a Good Fireplace. The story of Count Rumford and his fireplace designs that have remained unchanged since 1795 by good old Vrest Orton. So, yeah, how's that for peak merch? A reusable tote bag for every season. Look at that. Awesome. Good stuff. You've also got a really gorgeous Vermont Country Store 3D card, along with some Christmas ornaments with the iconic front logo there, too. So, yeah, there we go. Lots to love here. They did a great job, truly. And we're heading out, but we almost missed this other selection of Vermont Countryware branded glassware. Got the pint glasses here as well. Some more mugs. These little mason jar style guys. So, yeah, really nice variety. But that seems to be the theme of the Vermont Country Store, right? So. And among the Vermont branded merch, this nice little pennant looks to be locally made. Certainly stands out. Simple, to the point. Let them know you were here. Vermont. Somewhere David Burns' lawyers are flagging this for IP infringement. I'm just saying. But I do like the, old motel room keychain trend, which is certainly something we're following here at Peak Merch, and something that's been ramped up in the recent years. I just saw him at the Wilco Solid Sound Fest. Paul Simon had a 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover keychain. Come to think of it, a lot of musicians are doing this, but yeah, they've got them here too, so that's a Classic merch category for sure. And, you know, every year Halloween comes earlier and earlier, and the merch along with it. We're here mid-August, but they've already got the Halloween displays up here, and I'm not mad about it. They're like $37, but these papier-mâché vintage Halloween cat and jack-o'-lanterns here are fantastic and pretty incredible. The kind of thing you might only find here, somewhere like it. So, yeah. Happy Halloween from August. I guess that's a corgi bat. New for this season, presumably, but spooky indeed. That's some Island of Dr. Moreau type stuff. True animal experimentation. A heavier theme than one might expect here in a traditional Halloween section, but yeah, I'm into it for sure. You can find these everywhere, these vintage Halloween wall clings. Not just here, but take a look at some what appear to be new designs for this year. We've got these spooky creatures down here, and we've got this guy up here as well. Of course, it's not all logo merch. You know, the Vermont Country Store has its own label of Vermont Country Store maple syrup here. So that's that grade A syrup. You can kind of tell how clear it is. That's how they determine the grading here. I also want to point out something else. This Peanuts Halloween alarm clock was made custom for the Vermont Country Store, exclusive to them, by Belova. Storied timepiece maker Belova made this really cute Halloween Peanuts clock exclusively for the Vermont Country Store. It's a twin bell clock. It's just over $20, and that's a pretty nice rare merch win, if I say so myself. So good going, Vermont Country Store. Nice brand synergy there. More Peanuts Vermont Country Store partnership Halloween merch here. Just a simple tin. Pretty bare bones, pretty nice, but it is exclusive to here. So yeah, if you're a Peanuts fan and you live spooky season, get yourself to the Vermont Country Store for some exclusive merch. And you know, the Vermont Country Store makes its own Vermont cider jelly, promising 20 apples in each jar. But if that's not enough, there's actually a Vermont Country Store exclusive jelly spoon. Get a load of that. Yeah, you got a spoon on one end, you got a little doohickey on the other to make sure you get it all. That is a spoon for getting the corners, the nooks and crannies of your jelly jar. Get every last drop, they promise. Well, we might have to oblige you there. We might have to oblige. And we seem to have stumbled upon the Vermont Scale Museum, which is certainly a thing. With all these vintage scales, this is the Fairbanks belt buckle. So that's a thing. Look at all these scales. I had no idea this was here. Pretty cool. There's even a toy scale. Get them, you know, into scales at a young age, I suppose. But yeah. The Fairbanks scales seem to have been made for many years and been beloved by a certain type of enthusiast. So there you go. We'll see if we can find any other scale merch here at the Vermont Country Store. And here in another case, Lyman Orton, the proprietor of the Vermont Country Store, explains why he has a toaster museum. His toaster collection began in the 70s and 80s when he frequented antique shows in search of fixtures and objects for the two stores as he expanded them. He remembers his grandmother, Lilia Orton, using a flip-wide toaster when she and his grandfather lived in an apartment above this western store. So that inspired this pretty extensive toaster collection here. A lot of interesting vintage toasters from before the technology evolved and became automated. So there you go. The Vermont Toaster Museum in the Vermont Country Store. Pretty nifty. Pretty nifty indeed. Wait a second, how did we get to Universal Orlando? What's going on here? Did we go through some sort of country teleporter? Just kidding. And of course, due to our proximity to Maine, we are seeing some regional soda merch here. This is from Moxie Cola since 1884, a Maine staple. I think it tastes like battery acid, but some people really love it. So, you know, in the craft soda community, everybody's got their thing. And some people like to torture themselves. So if you do, drink Moxie. That's why I stay away from the parades in Maine every summer. I don't want to get sprayed with some Moxie or have some Moxie, accidentally enter my mouth. And then, my day would be ruined. So, Moxie. Get your merch here, Vermont Country Store. And if you're really worried about corrupting the youth, guys, you gotta not give them a Moxie baby onesie. Because you're just gonna make a legion of soda drinkers used to this awful tasting soda. I'm just saying. I know it's an acquired taste, but whoever acquired that taste is wrong. Don't give your babies Moxie, guys. They're still growing. And that's gonna do it for today's trip to the original Vermont Country Store. The Orton family business since 1946. Still an institution, still a tourist destination, and still glad it's here. Thanks for joining us today. You've been watching Peak Merch. We'll see you real soon.